It is the year 2005. The treacherous Decepticons have conquered the Autobots' home planet of Cybertron.
Now return you to the Children of Primus.
Yeah, welcome.
Hey y'all, hey Impactor.
All y'all
How's everyone doing this evening?
Pretty good. What do you get when you multiply one Impactor by one Impactor?
2 Impactors.
I think he gets it. Terrence Howard. Thank you, Terrence Howard, for answering that question. I guess that's an inside joke, so I'll let people in that Terrence Howard, the actor who played the original War Machine, he is now inventing his own science. Pseudoscience, I should say. Not science, pseudoscience.
Mr. Anti-Idiotic, welcome. He says, I really want Kitty Pryde to be on Tom Holland's spicy new girlfriend in MCU.
Yeah, totally. That'd be cool. Yeah, Kitty Pryde is, hasn't been used very much at all since Days of Future Past.
You know, these characters that they overlook that have like great storylines behind them, but they just whatever direction the writer or director wants to go with, they overlook them.
Speaking of writers and directors, did you guys hear that Michael Bay will be directing Transformers 9?
Wow, that's cool. Cool news.
I forget whoever directed Rise of the Beast, but yeah, he's disappeared. Michael Bay's taking his place back. I don't know what's gonna kill him. It's either gonna be Megatron flicking him again, or it's gonna take some crazy fan miracle for him to stop producing Transformers.
I wonder, is that a good or bad thing, Michael Bay coming back to the director's home?
I don't know. If he doesn't do that much explosions and maybe focuses more on the characters, I'll take it.
That's a big if, because I mean, he tends to focus on the explosions and not so much the characters. But unfortunately.
Yeah. I wonder who the female protagonist is going to be.
It's going to be
there's talk about Rise of the Beast's sequel, and right now the fandom is hoping that Charlie will return.
Charlie, yeah.
I honestly agree that'd be a good idea because she was one of my favorite human characters besides Transformers Prime's Raph, Jack, and Miko.
Yeah. It totally fits Michael Bay's criteria for that female character.
This is true.
Speaking of Michael Bay, I finally completed Ironhide.
Very cool.
Ooh, nice.
Guys, nice. Fusion cans. Sadly, they didn't come filled, so, well, I filled them in myself.
You filled them in? What do you mean?
I put model clay and then painted it in orange. It was plain old black. And, well, I lost the piece to this one, so I have to make a new one.
Cool. Modeling clay, like Sculpey, or what are you using?
For me, back then, I used to do Lego Fortnite stuff. I got into it a very long time ago before I started customizing my Transformers. And so, with my good old tub of model clay here, it's like air dry, like Crayola clay almost, except it's a different type of brand called Model Magic. And, well, I make all sorts of colors with Sharpies.
That's cool. Right on. Sure.
And so I used the model clay to put inside the cannons, and then also I used that model clay to, well, make Heavy Iron 2 because, well, it didn't come right. So I just model clayed the magazine and, well, model clayed the double barrel.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
And then
Cool use of Crayola model clay.
yeah, what else of it did you do with did you customize an Iron Man?
I don't know. In customizationing, I honestly haven't done that much in quite a while, unless me just completing old records, basically. I'm trying to complete a bunch of my old records for IDW, and so I recently got back together, Sandstorm, and I'm thinking maybe I'll buy another Springer since I lost my Springer's sword, and maybe I'll buy another Sandstorm eventually because this part broke off. And, well, heck, who knows? Maybe I might make a custom Treadshot Prime. I was trying to figure that. Oh, and, well, this guy counts as a custom I worked on just recently. I'm working on Bulkhead versus Starscream scene for, well, Starscream dying from Prime in stop motion form. I'll give you guys a small leak of it on my tablet over here. But, oh, wait, never mind. I have it on my computer. But I had to, well, with Sharpie, scratch on the scratch that Starscream gives Bulkhead.
Okay.
I also did favorite paint apps for his head, and, well, I also gave him, since, well, my Roadbuster sadly exploded from generations. I had Whirl, Roadbuster, Sprinter, and Sandstorm, and, well, now Jetfire. So I gave, Bulkhead his missile launcher gun, and, well, this is from, like, one of those Build-A-Bots Transformers. I got this from Optimus Prime. So, well, I gave that to Bulkhead because it fit him. And, well,
right.
I'll be buying another Bulkhead soon because, well, the head is loose and, well, he's painted. And what I want to do is I want to make a custom Pyro from the Last Day of the Wreckers. Or I'll do a Transformers Prime-inspired Pyro.
Cool.
I have
very
zero
cool.
clue.
And very cool use of that Build-A-Figure thing.
And sadly, I lost Soundwave's shoulder cannon now from Legacy, so I turned his gun into it. Since I lost it, it's better use of it.
Sick.
Oh! You remember how I joined, like, my very first time on the stream and I talked about my custom Nightbird that I turned out of Twitch?
Yeah.
I found her finally. Let me just put back on her wings.
Okay, great.
I have to repaint her a little bit because, well, paint chips off after time, but this is, well, the mold.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, that turned out really nice. I love the color scheme.
I did it within an hour.
Oh.
I'm a fast painter, as my family says, and it's worth being fast.
Definitely, that's very true. Yeah, that's what you want to really get in the industry, whatever you're doing, whether it's any kind of artwork, whether it's painting or drawing or animation, you got to be fast. Definitely.
Well, fast and
Also,
still precise because you don't want to.
Still precise. Yeah.
Just be fast, and then it seems like.
I'm trying to think of what line Ratchet would say in that instance because I feel like he said a line like that. And also, sadly, this will be my last stream for this week because I'll be soon leaving for a week vacation. I might be able to join you guys maybe on Saturday.
Okay.
Because, the vacation will last until, Saturday. And then, Sunday, basically, I get ready to leave. So, Sunday morning, I'll be at this place I go to. It's called Camping. It's a very fun place. And after that, I'll be heading home. So maybe, just maybe, I might be able to join you guys. Unless it's not pitch black outside.
Okay.
Cool.
That sounds fun. Speaking of Ratchet, I just finished reading the Transformers comic, I got up to date with issue number 8. And
Skybound?
man, yeah, it's so good. Holy cow.
May I share my screen actually? One sec, because I actually have a video that I posted a while back about the video. I did a custom of Optimus with the Megatron arm.
Yeah, cool.
Let me share my screen. I did the video a very long time ago.
Okay.
So, as you can see, we can see us now. Let me just search up my name and go in here. And so we go through my videos. As you can see, I did a custom of him.
Oh, nice.
I used paper and modeled clay. So I took Sandstorm's hand off, and then I took paper and model magic, and then I dismantled Megatron's sword because I didn't like it. So I could give my Megatron over here because all War for Cybertron stuff I consider as all canon with Transformers Prime with how it is canon. So I wanted to give Megatron actually like his foldable sword, as you can see. So it's not like I use Cliffjumper's like sword and I put it inside the fusion cannon. But I didn't want to do that anymore. So I just dismantled the fusion cannon from Megatron's transformation mode. That would be his sword, and gave it to Optimus, making a custom Transformers Skybound Optimus.
Awesome, very awesome.
Yeah, it's cool when you get into the customization realm, because you then end up with a figure that no one else has. And we've had an instance where
it's really good.
one
We
of our
should go
members
here again.
met up with another
trying to
YouTuber who also does customizations, and he customized one of his figures for him. And then we actually met him.
Who was it? Or what Transformer? Who was it?
I don't recall the Transformer name. I would have to go back and look, but I'll look it up. But the YouTuber, his name is Keeper of Toth, and we met him at the TFCon Toronto last year, actually the year before, and he mentioned doing customization. So he customized one of our friends' figures.
Sick.
So soon, next year, so not next year, during August, I'll be going to a Transformer Con. I have zero clue if it's a TFCon. Is there going to be a such thing of a TFCon in Maryland?
Baltimore,
Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, I heard about something like that. Yeah, what is that again?
It's going to be in August. I don't know what day, but my aunt will be taking me there, and I will be going there on Sunday. I will be going there mainly in my searches for Titans Return figures, followed by a few Siege characters. I really need to get trigger happy. And also, I have... Sorry?
I mean, the TFCon coming up in July is going to be in Toronto. There was already the TFCon in LA this year. So the next TFCon USA, I don't think is until next year. So it's something coming up in Baltimore. It's not the TFCon, but it's something Transformers related. Yeah, awesome.
And the goal is when I go there, if it is like one of those, the goal is to find, not this type of twin twist. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I want the white one. And I also want to find Topspin. It's going to be mainly a bunch of the Titans Return characters who I want to find.
Okay, cool. How much are those guys worth now?
Twin Twist here is still $25 on Amazon. He's being sold for cheaper on eBay and other places, such as Hasbro Pulse. They're doing a blowout sale on him for $15.
Wow.
But Twin Twist not Twin Twist, the original Twin Twist is going for like $150.
Yeah.
Then Topspin's going for like $200. He's super rare and expensive. Trigger Happy, I don't know. I haven't checked the last time I've ever seen him on eBay. The last I saw him was like $50.
Right on. Yeah, I got my Topspin at retail. Like, there was a whole bunch on the shelf. It was like, oh, okay. He was a cool figure, too. I was just like, yeah, it's awesome. And then, yeah, the value skyrocketed.
Question from Mr. Anti-Idiotic from YouTube says, who guys think should play Kitty Pryde? Or who do you guys think Kitty Pryde?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Rice? Beans.
Kitty Pryde was played really well by the original actress in Days of Future Past. Like, she's older. You know, you could,
Future Past. X-Men Future Past.
yeah, and like, it would be cool if you can include that same actress. Like, that would be cool. I don't know how you would write that in, but she's typically a younger character. Like, if you remember Pride of the X-Men, and especially if they want to introduce the X-Men as if it was a new thing, because I think that's what they're intending on doing. Like when in the
Also,
young
I
leaders
think
type of
killing
thing.
Logan was the worst mistake they ever had.
Well, Logan wasn't necessarily always part of the original X-Men, so that's okay if they killed him off.
Well, they killed Logan. They killed off the guy. I forget his name. He's in the wheelchair. I keep forgetting. X-Men's more of a fever dream for me. I only remember all the movies and some of the shows because of my dad.
Okay.
Oh, right. It appears as if they're killing him off in the new comic book series. And
they started doing that, yeah.
And Rogue is going to become the leader.
Oh,
Interesting. Yeah,
My
they
dad
tried to
and I
kill.
both. Me and my dad were like, "Really?" We were confused. Like, seriously, it was so weird.
They tried killing them off at one point because X-Men was in Sony's hands. Sony's was making those movies, and Marvel didn't want to give Sony too much free advertising, right?
They didn't want to give them that much. That's like how they killed off Iron Fist and Daredevil.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Same
Daredevil's
situation.
coming back, shockingly. I looked at Disney Plus's stuff, and they're bringing back Daredevil.
Yeah.
Why can't they do that for Iron Fist? Because that was like one of the movie shows, like one of the live action shows that I'd watch on an often basis with my dad. Back when Netflix, before they ever updated.
Well, in recent news, like, they were talking about pulling back on doing so many productions in 1 year. You know, they're just going to focus on fewer things and make them really good because they're kind of spreading their creativity thin there.
Hey, Mom.
I get that.
I'm grabbing a sixth.
And also, I was talking about the Megatron. So you can see, like, how I put the blade in between here. So it looks like the Transformers Prime Megatron sword.
Yeah.
But back then, before I had like really anything, I had like Cliff Jumper's sword, and what I did with it was I put it inside the fusion cannon. That's what I do basically, so it'd be like in there. Like, yeah, I thought it worked. I also tried to do like a Transformers Prime fight scene. It would be the like Megatron versus Optimus scene. But, well, that failed, sadly, because of our cat. Our cat teared down the entire setup.
Oh.
But now it was honestly worth it, kind of, because now I have, like, a more Transformers Prime Optimus. Because I was using my Dark of the Moon Optimus before I ever had really any Optimus. So this honestly makes it a little bit better. Especially how I can now do the tires rubbing all over Megatron's face.
Well, Rev Rats, how's it going? It says, howdy, howdy, children of Primus and everyone.
Hey, Reverend Rats. That was a good B movie.
Very
I have to watch.
People copulating.
I also did a Blast of the Past dig up, and I found Transformers Energon breakdown.
Nice.
I bought a few characters a while back from like back when I was trying to like complete. I was all in this like Transformers AOE stage, and I wanted to like recreate the entire movie with a bunch more characters. So, well, I want Breakdown along with Armorhide and a few other characters, and so I was buying all of them. And well, Breakdown was like one of the very first ones to come in, and I was very happy as a kid.
That's nice of you, Reverend Rats.
Yeah, blessings to Toy Toy has mentioned he's not feeling well, so we do hope he does get better soon.
I hope Mr. Magnus survived that tornado.
He actually did send a message after, so they were fine. Fortunately, everything was okay.
Oh, I'm happy because I thought that giant Unicron, if that tornado hit, was going to be the first thing to fall.
I think his Unicron will end up sucking up that tornado.
Yes, I was.
Well, just maybe if he had like maybe a portal gun and he were to go back into the movie and replace it, or maybe make him bigger.
Mm-hmm. So this week's stream, we're actually going to be streaming X-Men 97 series episodes 1 to 5 through our Discord channel, and the Discord channel link is in the description. And I've also posted it in the chat.
Sadly, I will not be able to get on there, and not to mention I do not have Discord, and I can't exactly get Discord on my computer.
Oh no.
Okay.
But I'll be here for next week.
Okay, we'll keep that into consideration. Not everyone can get
the
Discord.
week after.
The week after.
Cool.
Actually,
well, thanks for joining us to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be trying to join you guys more often. I have an entire summer ahead of me, and I will have all the free time in my life.
That's when a lot of conventions and all sorts of things are happening. So it'll be cool to to pass through during the summer.
Yeah, let us know how it goes.
All I'll be doing during the summer is I'll be hanging out with my friends until some sort of time, and then I'll be just doing gardening stuff in my backyard with my dad and just going to the pool, basically. That's basically all it's going to be. Morning time, eat breakfast, work in the backyard for a moment, go to the pool for 5 to 6 hours, come back home, eat dinner, do a little bit of outside work, hang out with your friends, and then do a YouTube live or hang out with YouTube friends on a stream or something.
Oh, let us know, when you're doing that, because then we can also mention it to friends within our community, and depending on the time.
Well, I'll try and do a YouTube live. I've been trying to figure out the kinks of it. I did one, but it didn't succeed at all. It teared down like a cat pulling down a curtain. All right, now just gotta search up a video on how to turn off my face cam and put it on the Google Meet. That's how I do it, because I don't have StreamYard, basically, and so I just do Google Meet.
So X-Men animated series was a really big part of my childhood. I was 7 or 8 years old. I think I was just turned 8 when that started airing on television, and I was already a big fan of X-Men, and super stoked about this new iteration of the Transformers X-Men TV show.
With my dad, he's 59, not 59, 58. He was there, so every day he'd come home. How old is my dad again? 48.
Okay.
My bad. So I had 58, but I was 48. But with him, he was there to see Transformers. So he'd get home from school, watch Transformers, and then he would proceed to G.I. Joe and Power Rangers. And then on the other channel, he had He-Man, GoBots, and something else. And not G.I. Joe, X-Men would fall in after, Transformers Season 2 ended, if I'm correct, as my dad said. And then Power Rangers would get replaced by it on his TV.
Oh, those were several years apart. Transformers ended in 1987. And I suppose there was the G2 continuity, which continued in...
The G2 continuity was weird for my dad. He didn't honestly agree with everything, how it played out. Though I do like how they were able to reuse the characters.
But it was basically the same G1 episodes. And they aired that, that's probably right, in the early 90s, and then right into X-Men in 92, and they're on Power Rangers 95, 94, 95, I think.
And when my dad saw the G2 stuff, he was super confused because, they replaced Huffer with Pipes, Outback with Brawn. And what's even more weird is how they just all of a sudden brought Brawn back from the dead all of a sudden for a scene.
Well, Pipes and Braun are actually from the G1 series because they're in season
I don't
3.
recall ever seeing Pipes in G1.
He's only in 2 episodes, and the 5 episodes that's directly after the movie, the 5 Faces of Darkness, and 1 other episode within.
He was in the episode for when Trypticon destroyed the Ark.
That's it. Yeah, so that's in the 5 Faces of Darkness.
And which honestly was quite sad because that was where our childhood grew up.
Yeah, a lot of us were sad when the Ark was destroyed. Rev Rat's Ride says, the day after tomorrow, I'm taking another vacation, and then Mrs. Rat and I are going to visit friends in NY. And also says, Impactor, your dad's 3 years older than me.
Or like, if you say something wrong, I want
Same generation.
Cool,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Of me, I'm like,
Where did I
Same
see
generation as your dad.
I hate it.
So over on the Discord, for those that are watching, I'm going to start the X-Men 97
Yeah.
series, so we can comment and have our thoughts over here about it while we watch it over there.
Not completely correct.
All right, and well, one more Transformer thing before we start that up. I managed to figure out some way to turn my Perceptor from, well, the Transformers Power of the Primes line from a vehicle into, well, actually his, like, actual microscope. Wait, never mind. 1 second. That out.
I'm also one of the
Yeah.
who listens
That's
to
I somehow.
That
Well,
looks like it.
turn this around and you get that.
Quiet.
Yeah. If you just look at it from the front, it looks right.
Not quiet. Not quiet.
The back is
Awesome.
all
And
conjumbled.
complain, but me, I walk up there.
All right, let's see
and
some
I
X-Men.
just pull
All right.
through. With Mom,
Yeah, I love me
so
some X-Men.
I don't get.
It's a great
My dad and
series.
I have been reading some of the X-Men comics, and also we've been getting a bunch of our Transformer comics. My dad's been getting into Rook and another comic book series.
Cool. And
So it's very tight, compact at the back.
I think he'll have to get one of the crossovers.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, if me, but that's okay.
oh, you heard it.
That gives me the daydreams. That gives me the daydreams of back in my younger age. Because I remember watching the show when the movies were like kind of out.
So this is definitely like a redo of the original intro. The original intro is just one of the best parts. I shouldn't be talking over it.
Mm-hmm.
We got a person named DJ Ghost in the back chat.
Yeah, and he's going to join in shortly.
Hello, that person. This
Mega Man guns.
I'm tired.
I want to point out how humans are trying to augment their bodies in order to be equivalent to mutants. This kind of plays into something later.
Oh, because they did the same thing in the Logan movie. Like the guys that he was fighting were similar, almost like a similar human cyborg type of combination.
Interesting.
And plus it was in the future, so I guess
Yes.
at some point they figured out the technology to do this.
Which Logan movie was with the girl who was almost like Logan, basically? I forget what her name was, and also the movie. I know it's Logan something.
X-23.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the last Logan movie.
Her name is Laura, I think.
Right.
And that's supposed to be taking place in 2029. So, like, someone said what's transpiring in the Deadpool movie could be before what happens in that Logan movie.
I honestly would have to agree with that.
Yeah, because I think the Deadpool movie is supposed to be that Logan.
So basically, and with how it's appearing, I think what's going to happen is they're going to save him. Deadpool's going to change the reality of the Logan movie, and heck, who knows? Maybe that's going to be the reason how we bring back Logan.
Oh, I see. That's actually wishful thinking, and I'm not going to spoil anything because we have to get to the end of this X-Men season in order for me to talk about that. Actually, we don't have to get to the end. We can get to episode 5.
Oh, Mr. Ghost.
Hey, Mr. Ghost.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This whole technology thing just annoys me sometimes.
Yeah, that's fun.
And I'm actually okay with it, which is weird because my job is managing software. Anyways.
Oh, I mean,
my dad's job for how long was Dad in IT, Mom?
So some days there's a love and hate for IT.
My dad was in IT for a while.
All right. So, Mike, when I click on your link for the Discord, all I get is blank.
Let me see.
Let me just test that. Yep, blank.
All right, let me give you a different link.
I thought it was me. Then I was like, it could be Mike.
I then double checked.
Mm-hmm.
So the antagonists here are Friends of Humanity. Well, there's a Daily Bugle hint that Spider-Man might be in this. So, yeah, the Friends of Humanity are like this.
We're getting a crossover already.
So,
yeah, totally. Plenty of crossovers.
If we were able to pause on that newspaper, there's a ton of Easter eggs there.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yeah. There's an Easter egg for Venom. There's an Easter egg for Spider-Man. And I think one possibly for Punisher as well.
So, oh, yeah.
Punisher I also just recently realized the Punisher meme now for the wait, no. I just realized today. I saw the video I watched this video and it showed everything that happened to his family and then him killing everybody and all that. And then, it moved on to a story explained on, the Punisher story.
Yeah, it's a brutal show.
And I get why he's mad.
Yeah, totally.
Goodness.
This is totally what some guy might wear in the 90s. Yeah, but oh, I just noticed this is Jean Grey's first appearance, and it's tied up again. There's kind of spoilers if I talk about it right now. I'll wait till episode 2.
Go spin. I'll be right back. I have to go check on something.
Okay.
Pretty perfect.
Also, I need your guys' opinion on this custom idea. So I'll be soon buying another Cup Studio Series, and I'll also be buying another. I'm not even sure on who I want to buy a duplicate of. I'm not even sure if I want to buy a duplicate of Turner Bludgeon. And I want to do I'm trying to figure out which one's cheaper, but I want to do the custom idea. So back I rewatched the the original Transformers, what they were supposed to look like and everything. How Magnus got his body transformed into Orion Pax and all that, and how Cup was a tank. And I want to try and figure out what parts I should be using, because when I buy the second Cup, I'll be turning this guy right here into the original concept art idea for what he looked.
Got it.
I'll be shaving off his head. I'll be putting on a helmet. I'll be blocking out one of his eyes. I'll be doing a bunch of that work. I'll be trying to figure out what I should do. And, well, I'm not honestly sure on which one I should use because, well, both of them look nice, and I don't know which duplicate I should buy, basically, to turn into. Because, well, right here, so this is what I'm talking about. If I pull out, like, I'm not pulling off the tread, but, like, if I remove off his chest plate, because, well, I can't exactly show it correctly. If I pull out the tread, and, well, I can, well, okay, remove that stuff off. I pull out the tread, and, like how it turns. It looks perfect to show how Cup has that, like, slanted tread-like form. And what I'm thinking of doing is when I buy the duplicate to kind of like body swap Cup, except make it as close to Cup as I can, and shorting like the feet and like removing like maybe the ankles off of Bludgeon and the like. It's gonna be a lot of weird part removal.
Cool.
So it'll be the same body.
And Freakenstein says, "What up, all? What up, all you bots? What up, Freakenstein? We're actually watching the X-Men 97 episodes over on Discord right now, and we're gonna have our opinions while we're watching it."
Is it YouTube? Is it on YouTube, or did you find like the show?
Well, it's through Disney Plus, but I'm streaming it through Discord because you can't stream it through YouTube.
That's perfect because I have Disney Plus on my tablet.
Yeah. Roberto's an interesting new addition. He's like the Jubilee of this season, like the introductory character to the X-Men. The initiate into the new X-Men. New initiate. Yeah, can't think of my words. But yeah, he's a rich kid, and he's refusing to show off his powers because it's like a no-no in his family.
Okay.
All right, just found it.
Aerobics and business, maybe.
For me, Disney kind of went flat for me after they removed a bunch of my shows. They removed a bunch of old Halloween shows I like to watch, and one of the other shows is Jeff Goldblum's Questions. He does like this entire thing on like learning the backstory. My three favorites were him learning about coffee, him learning about what bikes were, and then him also learning about what was it? It was some type of car thing. I forget what it was, but like it was one of my favorite shows to watch.
Okay, cool.
The political guy, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Stephen Bach, how's it going? It says, when are you all starting? We have already started. It's episodes are running over on Discord. And Freakenstein says, I watched them all, so now I want Transformers 86 Season 3 reboot, where the movie didn't happen yet. Be interesting.
Skybound Comics. That's pretty much what's happening. It's like pre-Transformers movie.
Cool.
Well, it's like retelling of 84 story in an adult, very mature way.
Okay.
So good. Spike and Sparkplug have such an incredible relationship with Optimus Prime.
Nice.
Yeah, so cool.
Just also sad how Sparkplug bited the dust, basically.
Exactly what I'm referring to. Okay, now Jean has her hair down. Normally, Jean Grey has her hair in a ponytail, and like that's always been the situation. But yeah, this is unique. You know, she's pregnant now, which is also a new thing. Didn't happen at the end of the last season.
One thing I found or a thought that I've had, and I wonder if anyone could answer this. Almost like most Marvel characters have like their alter ego name, and Jean just has Jean.
Yeah, so her alter ego is actually Marvel Girl, and that doesn't really get used. They just refer to her as Jean, like even when they're in the field, like fighting her, like,
Right.
Jean. Yeah, and
I forgot about Marvel Girl. Okay.
Marvel Girl, yeah.
Well, that answered that.
But yeah, you're totally right. Like everyone, like they're like Cyclops or Gambit or Rogue. But Jean is just Jean.
Freakenstein says she has more than that. You will see. And you forgot about Phoenix. That is correct.
Right, she has embodied by the Phoenix Force there. Always comes back to that Dark Phoenix thing. They really, I thought they really did it well in the original X-Men animated series. That was a really cool arc. And like there was a season finale thing, and you had to wait for the summer for the next season to come out. Yo, that was a great time for cartoons. A lot of pheromones in that room, I bet.
Freakenstein says cliffhanger shows.
All these characters are so horny.
I brought home a bunch of my records down, basically, for my Transformer stuff that I was going to do later. And, well, Cyclonus, I had his head on, and now when I look in the bin just now, he's missing his head. I don't know where it went. He was on it when I put inside him inside the bin, and now he's gone.
He's a headmaster now.
I'm still trying to figure it out. Ooh.
This is like cool use of Jubilee's powers.
Also, would you guys consider Hound being a wrecker for G1? I'm trying to still figure that out.
Hound as a record. Hound is one guy who really appreciates nature. I don't see him as much of a wrecker.
The reason why I put him in for like the wreckers for my G1 stuff is, well, for an instance, well, Pyro for the wreckers, because, well, he was actually one of the G1 wreckers and all. He was the definition of Hound. Except maybe actually a fat ballerina.
Hound is a scout, is he not?
Yeah, he's a scouting. He's actually more of a pacifist than a fighter. So
Yeah.
he couldn't really
Well,
the
you
record.
could say that, but then you bring in Jetfire. He's a pacifist, but he's a wrecker.
Yeah, Freakenstein also mentioned that he's a scout and says, can't wait for Gargoyles live action. I heard about that, but Gargoyles was an amazing show. So, hopefully they don't mess that up once they go to whatever they're planning to do with it.
Yeah.
What can we have for dessert?
Let me fix Springer. This right here is like almost all. Well, not these two, just these two. We got Sandstorm. We have Whirl. When I was a kid, I really wanted to get like all the live action, like all the cartoon wreckers, and well, Sandstorm and a few others were the only ones I ever could get. And well, these two, like Jetfire and then like Springer, were like later add-ons when I kind of got out of that frenzy.
That's cool.
Well, there went.
Storm looks really great with the new haircut.
Also, I don't get how well the Beast is he's not the same.
Beast?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty much the same as the old show.
Well, I don't remember him looking like that the last I checked. Well, like his voice.
Oh, same voice actor. Voice is spot on. Same guy.
It's been a long time since I've watched this stuff. It's like I said, a partial fever dream.
Okay. Yeah, I know this is like foundation of some of my childhood there. I remember the first day it aired. I didn't know about it, and then suddenly it was on. Like, and it happened to be the first episode. So I was already into X-Men. I was totally in love with X-Men. It was like, boom, here's the X-Men show. I'm like, what? Dun, 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 dun. Man, that was so awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of stumbled upon it as well, and it's like, but I didn't read the comics, but I knew the basis of most of the Marvel and X-Men stuff. But yeah, I just stumbled across it. I think the second episode, and then just went through the whole series after.
Awesome.
And here's all my generation
Started
guys.
great.
I have Sandstorm, Springer, Scoop, Jetfire, and Whirl.
Oh.
And well, also another character, because I searched up all 58 wreckers, and well, in the wreckers, Blur is one of them, and I don't get why. And also, I need a question on: do you think you'd make a good wrecker?
Well, I guess it depends on the storyline, because I know there's different variations of records, but I'm not sure which storyline or which variation.
The YouTuber put in like a description, and with how he joined, basically, he joined after his entire platoon was destroyed by the DJD, and he was the only survivor because he was the fastest. It was a very gruesome scene. I searched it up myself in the comic book stuff. Yeah, I get why Blur might have wanted to join the Wreckers, because they all have the same story. Because they either had something crazy happen to them or something else of the sorts. For an instance, Impactor, he lived on Energon Farm, for an instance, and good old DJD, followed by the advancements of, the Decepticons and Bludgeon's platoon. Let's just say Bludgeon decided to take a good old happy visit, followed by the DJD. And that's how, actually, if I'm correct, I don't know if it's canon or not, but it's kind of like how Bludgeon became a little bit a part of the DJD, kind of. It's a little bit weird. I don't know if it's canon or not. And also, it'd be also a partial reason on why Impactor, in the original comics and all, on why he'd have a knife hand. Like the original comics, not like the newer continuity, like Last Stand of the Wreckers, basically, because he lost his hand because of Overlord. So yeah. And if I have to say anything, out of all my customs, Impactor's my favorite, with how well I did him. I did his construction labels on him. I did the silvering paint job. I did his legs. I did his head a little bit. I had the silver detailings. I did all the paint job. I tried my best to try and get him as accurate. I then shortened his knife hand to 2 blades because it's like that, and I prefer it like the sideways because that's how he sometimes had it in the comics, and it's not bad. I also add bow scuffs to his feet. I thankfully learned a little bit on how to dry brush and how to strike on battle strips onto them to show battle damage.
Free Inside says, I just got a copy of Fans Enhanced 4K Transformers, the movie 1986. All the colors pop. That's very cool.
Also, I'm not sure if I should do this or not, but I think eventually I will be buying another Gears, and I'm thinking about maybe turning the second Gears into Swerve. I believe what I could do is maybe I could like cover up the eyes with some type of like model clay to show like the visor that he has, and then I'll try and redo his head a little bit just to show that it's not Swerve.
Cool. Yeah, I could do that.
I can't tell whether everyone's covered in dirt or is darker. Stop worrying about her tan or light down. I definitely don't want to. Okay.
Okay, that was a really dope scene.
Hey, yo, Stan, I'm back.
Hey, Ghost.
Cool. Are you able to get through Discord as well?
So where are we watching? Are we on the Discord? Because I'm not even seeing the show.
It's in the watch party, and there's a user called Steam. That's where I have it playing.
Just say that again. There's a what?
In the Discord server, there's a section called Voice Channels, and it's called a watch party.
I think I'm in a watch party, but I'm not seeing anything.
Click the link and put it here for you to see.
I can see you here.
I'm watching it on my tablet on Disney Plus. It's on Disney.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the whole series already. It's just I wanted to jump in with you guys. So there's some cool shit that happens in the show, and just tons of Easter eggs. I can point them out for you as well.
Yeah.
Well, if you're able to access Disney, we're still in the first episode.
So I click on this.
Yeah, there's like 6 minutes left.
So hold on. When I click on this thing that's in here, it's like it's the YouTube channel, but I'm still not seeing the show.
Oh, weird.
What's your username?
Yeah, because I saw you in the Discord.
And DJ Ghost.
On Discord?
Yep.
I got that. It's actually DJ Ghost Canada, but yeah.
Okay, let me see if that works from there.
Also, I don't know if I regret this or not, but I don't know if I regret painting the blue on my prow.
Oh.
A while a while back for Christmas, since I wanted to get the Generations Prowl, like the old one, like the series that War for Cybertron and Transformers Going 30 is all based off of. The Prowl that like gets his mode reused two more times to make Blue Streak and not Silver Streak. It did get turned into Silver Streak, except that was a Collectors Club exclusive, and Blue Streak. And so my mom sadly got not the same one, but still a not bad toy. So like 2 days later, I just pulled out the black paint markers and Sharpie and painted him up all black, basically all the blue, not him himself. And so I just painted up the black. I'm right now in the process of redoing the black because, I'm not that good. I wasn't that good of a painter back in my, childhood. So let's just say I wanted to redo it. And, here's his police mode. So, yeah. So, yeah, I'll try and redo it.
Cool. Okay.
And then I'll try and get
now
a
I'm
better
seeing the
price.
end of the show.
Yo, so that was a real shocker there. I didn't expect that to happen.
So let me pause this.
Magneto now is the heir of everything Charles Xavier has, including the X-Men. Heir? Is that the right word?
That is the
recipient.
Recipient.
Are you at the end? Are you at the end of the episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just about.
I'm in here again. I got everything working.
I have 9 minutes left of the episode.
Don't skip the opening sequence, because there's always little changes that sort of gives you a hint as what might happen in the episode as well.
Okay, cool.
You're kind of forced to watch every opening.
The show right now.
Well,
we're not waiting for you.
I'm not gonna. You guys are good.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do the skip intro for shows because back in the day, like the intro for some shows was the show before you got into the show.
Yep.
So
this one is no exception to that neither.
All right, so now we're gonna be starting episode 2.
I like how before episode 2 starts a little bit, I like how they said Omega threat detected, except there's no stopping them.
Episode 2, they said that?
They'll always be family. I think that we should at least walk in and see if there's any frames that you like.
X-Men.
Scum like you get your hands on seminal technology. You freak shows think we wouldn't find a way to evolve too? I know who we need to see to bring.
I'll be back in 1 sec. I'm gonna find myself a snack and a drink.
Starting off with Magneto right there.
Yep, so cool.
I missed. Did Jean have her hair down or no?
So you know about the hair down and up thing regarding Jean?
Yeah, I'm trying not to spoil it.
Okay.
Nope.
It's in the next episode.
Actually, my first time watching the whole series, so I don't know the reference.
Oh my goodness.
Well, normally she has her hair up. That's the thing.
So this sequence here, just remember that the one just before it when they show the 3 sides. Just remember that middle one.
Okay.
Right, with the humans. There wasn't any humans this one, actually.
Okay, honey. That would be nice and easy. Real slow.
Professor to not trust me. Maybe we're seeing this wrong. Maybe he did this for us. Across the globe, reports are flooding in. Mutants and humans infected by the former mutant terrorist.
This totally looks like the war room from Doctor Strangelove.
Following Charles Xavier's assassination last year. And we're hearing the international community is closely monitoring the situation. Documenting his unlikely savior answer for his past crimes.
This is our home. All we have left. You dogs left us. You think regular folks can sleep knowing demons are down here lurking? Please.
He's like a mutant messiah.
It's true.
Bishop has a nice new haircut.
Warlocks to travel to the mutant nation of
Kenosha.
I'm in episode 2, and I'm in like maybe 5 or I don't know how long the episode is again, but like I'm into the 27. I have like 27 minutes and like 30 some seconds basically.
Yeah, we're around the same spot.
Right around when Magneto is becoming a good guy.
Yeah, Magneto knows how to use words. Eh?
We're on Discord.
Yeah, Professor D says, yeah, real life Wolverine on day 2 of my comeback workout in the park. If you're watching the X-Men episode over on Discord,
A lot about relationships more so than the Avengers, just like saving the day type of thing. Like X-Men was about relations and like conflicts between people. So it's a lot of social issues.
Yes.
In case you're wondering, Mike, Spin.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago, Eric. And that cat's gonna stay in bed. You hear me?
I love her southern things. Although she's a Canadian voice actor, she's working for Parliament and went back to the show just because the show's so awesome.
Oh, that's cool. No, Ghost, as you were saying, like I've seen references on the internet, but I don't know what the references mean, though.
Oh, yeah. Crazy thing, that age difference between Rogue and Magneto is pretty sickening.
Okay. You know, that is a good question I do not have the answer to, what you said, or, who cares, because maybe it doesn't impact because it's a live stream. So who knows? We'll have to look that up one day.
So this show is a lot of an allegory for gay rights, which is interesting because in the 90s, that stuff was like not nearly as front and center as it is today.
Correct.
Yeah, it's like completely unheard of. It wasn't until post 2000s.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense. Pass to Jackson Davis. Scott the pass to Thompson. Lane and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 points for free throw line. And Sharp this one up. And with his movement skills, they catch out of position. Let's bring the check out the score down here for USA. Their accuracy in this one has just been on another level. I mean, the three ball keeps falling, and the defense hasn't been able to run them off the line. And the thing I've seen that I've really been impressed by is they've gotten everybody involved. Unselfishly making that extra pass, getting that ball to the right guy at the right time for a good shot.
There was a comic run with the trial of Magneto where he wore his particular costume.
And right now, let's watch that terrific spot. And guys, don't think twice about attempting that shot again. That was a big-time rejection. That's the Jokic.
Suckers.
Just for the shoot. Don't look from this one. Outstanding from outside the arc in the front net. Scott gets to go. And here's one video. He'll bring it up for T-Ball. And video.
Yeah, so awesome.
And that efficiency, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You got to be close to perfect. You can't waste scoring opportunity. Outside, Scott puts up a deep three. And Jalen Duran picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Oh, this is hilarious. Logan's rampage to get to the hospital. Just to see his seriousness. It's so hilarious. Like, this is hilarious.
Bird and Magic and how they shared the ball with such great passes. And you had another group of outstanding playmakers at the point guard spot and on the wing. So now, centers at this particular stage in the game evolution are playmakers, excellent passers, and our players that team can run their offense. So I think it's just been kind of a natural recognition because of the skill level of all players when it comes to passing. You know what? Teams can get a little pre-happy down the stretch sometimes, letting it fly. I wouldn't be surprised if
Storm is super heavy.
There's 45 seconds left in the game. I give it up to the plate. Taylor shot at the jam. The finish was not. And you know, not enough help from the defense to accomplish it. He gets a clean look, and that's exactly how you draw it up. Shot the basket by Minyama. Here's Jokic. That's the 3-5. Good on the three-point shot. Quick horsepower there. And that's first resistance from the D. Yeah, that's not the deep. Gotta be tough.
Just to see Rogue all of a sudden become a doctor is even more hilarious.
He really did some good writing on this series so far.
One thing I'm questioning about Morph is how she brought back who was it? I forget his name. The guy who's the guy who's I forget his name. I'm trying to remember. Not Dice.
What's his power?
He's the metal guy. I forget his name again. I keep forgetting.
Colossus.
He's my favorite X-Men. Colossus. I'm trying to remember, is Colossus dead or not?
No, he's not dead.
He's just not in this series.
Well, he was technically for a second.
Yeah, if it was a pitcher or something, yes.
Well, Morph became him for a second.
Oh, yeah.
And now Storm just got hit.
Storm's lost her powers.
And well, this guy, Execution, is regretting his life choices.
Magneto, this was not what we wanted.
Lies. This is your dream. My kind's laid before you, powerless and afraid. All the X-Men have done is use their awesome power to protect the world that hates and hates them.
She wanted to be a human. She spoke too soon.
What has he done to me? Magneto, this was not what we wanted.
Lies. This is your dream. My kind's laid before you, powerless and afraid. All the X-Men.
I guess I'll spoil it and say that Storm was just saying that to Jean just to say something that the other person was that she thought that Jean was expecting her to say, type of thing. And that's the situation that we run into every day, is like we often say things that we don't actually feel, but we feel that the other person wants to hear it. But in fact, the other person doesn't even want to hear it, right? But that's just a part of socialism, being social.
Wow.
Okay, we now just got some X-Men Future Past reference with how he took the entire football stadium with him. Not the football stadium, baseball stadium with him. Now they're taking an entire, well, not an entire courthouse, but a big chunk of the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
So small. For what was done to Storm. But today, I have saved you from your own, for an old friend has challenged me to remember this view of Earth. How vast it is, versus how small we make it. Charles Xavier entrusted me with his dream, and it does not ask you to love or embrace my kind as your own.
just the words she used when she named him Nathan. I was thinking Nathan, and a line that she gives to a character later on. She says, "All I do is think," and that's maybe that somehow ties together of what she's thinking about.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Professor D says, quotes, the ghost, an exclamation.
The United Nations stunned the world this week when it issued a pardon for Magneto, due in no small part to the former mutant terrorist's efforts in saving the tribunal and quelling the insurrection.
In another gesture of goodwill in our efforts to improve relations with our mutant brethren, we will begin talks to admit the mutant nation of Genosha into the United Nations.
Poison, dark roast.
Tragedy lures with fortune first. This was a good week.
I like how Magneto questions, is it poison? When he's about to get a good cup of joe.
This mean you trust me to carry on Xavier's dream. Professor trusted you, and I trust him.
Inhibitor collars use radiation to temporarily neutralize our mutant powers. The executioner's laser rifle tried to concentrate
Tragedy lures with fortune first. This was a good week for our people.
suppressing the mutant's abilities without risk for a collar itself. Or go home.
Are they trying? I'm guessing Storm's gonna get her powers back. I'm guessing in the later seasons. I'm guessing.
I don't know.
That was also an arc in the comics.
With how I know the Beast is a scientist, and I know that he's figured out problems and other sorts of things, I'm guessing Storm might get back her powers soon.
There's another brilliant mutant who comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible. She's afraid of lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Understand why I could not stay to say it this day. My faith in your families.
Now she's afraid of lightning. I just got to that point now.
Why I fight so much
It is human nature to crave connection, as it is also mutant nature to be heard,
changes life
to feel another soul finally seeing yours.
We are no longer
Connection is a fragile treasure, one we sacrifice so much to maintain.
No.
And then sometimes watch it break in a
Happy.
link that changes your life forever.
for another person's dream.
We are no longer connected, Jean. And now we walk in two very different worlds. I trust that I will cherish what we shared as X-Men, memories that already feel like a lifetime ago. Like another woman's life,
Storm will spend the day
or another person's dream.
right home.
It is seemed a little bit abrupt that she would just up and leave just because she lost her powers. Right? She's still part of the X-Men. She's still part of the family, whether or not she is a mutant. But that also calls in another social thing. Like if you don't have these qualities, then you don't fit into certain
That's
social
so.
sometimes.
The blast had your name.
Or maybe that's just how she
Should be
feels.
you leaving on me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just talked over that. There was two genes all of a sudden.
Spend a day
What?
shopping with basic folk and come right home happy as a. What did I say?
Yo, Spin, I got to step out. All right, but this is cool. Yeah, questions. You know where to go.
2 genes.
All right, sir. Let me know when you're back.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'll be coming back on. I have to go do a few things, take the dogs out and stuff too. So
okay.
Thanks
all
for
right.
joining.
Well,
DJ
I'm
Go.
at the end.
No
I'm
problem.
at the
No problem.
ending
No
now,
problem.
so I'm now up to date with you guys.
Right on. Yeah, the episode is just at
Yeah.
the credits. That was a cool episode. What the heck? Another clone?
Ooh, but who's the clone?
Yeah, right.
They're 2 genes.
Pair of gray jeans. I mean, pair
Yeah.
of jean glaze.
The pair of red jeans, actually. Huh?
Wow.
This is some type of crazy time loop.
All right, Sven. We'll catch up later, Ben.
All right,
take care,
cool.
everyone.
Ciao, ciao.
See you, Ghost.
Back in the mid-90s, there was a big thing of the Clone Wars and Spider-Man comics, and that was like a long, ongoing thing with Ben Reilly and Peter Parker and who is the clone and who is the real Spider-Man. So at that time, like,
Tobey Maguire to me is the real Spider-Man. I liked his entire franchise.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like Tobey Maguire too. Yeah, he's cool.
It was what I grew up with for my entire life. I never thought of there being any other Spider-Mans. Matter of fact, actually, fun fact, before I even watched the new Spider-Man stuff, like when Tom Holland got his own role, I thought it was Tobey Maguire for a sec. Like,
you know what's funny is that even before Tobey Maguire, I knew the voice of Bumblebee, Dan Gilvezan, as the voice of Spider-Man.
For the cartoon series?
Yeah, and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That's Dan Gilvezan.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, Frank Welker's in that show.
Yeah, I guess we have a question of how many characters did he play in that show?
Yeah, a lot.
Remember also, like G.I. Joe, one voice actor I could clearly tell from Transformers, and there was Prowl.
In fact, right here, you're playing your episode already. We haven't actually started. We're
I'm
kind of
like in the intro. I'm just in the intro.
Yeah, we have.
I haven't played anything yet.
Okay, we haven't started because we're You don't have Discord.
Sadly, I can't get to it.
That's okay.
It's like a weird situation. I have my tablet. That's the beauty of using your tablet for everything, basically.
Okay, well, we are going to start episode 3 now.
When you get to the point where Rogue is punching somebody, let me know so I can then unpause.
Okay.
I just want to point out also, Storm took a bus when at the Xavier Mansion. Like, there's a whole huge garage full of cars. She could have taken any car or motorcycle. I'm sure there's like a helicopter she could have taken on the property, but she decided to take a bus. Which definitely
public transportation.
But, you know,
yeah, just with all the other normal folk type of thing.
Remember, the vehicles could be tracked.
Yeah. But I think the idea is that she's a regular person now. She's like one of the
right. Well, plus the other thing is I don't ever recall her driving in the original series.
That's probably true.
Yeah, she might not have that driving license.
She probably doesn't have a driver's license.
That and the fact she has the ability to fly, she really doesn't need a vehicle.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Interesting.
Rain or shine, she controls the weather.
Yeah, she can control the weather, goes wherever she wants. Why does she need a vehicle for?
Yeah.
Traffic.
Jokes.
All right, let's start episode 3.
Yeah, let's do this.
What have we been fighting for all these years if not the chance to finally live our lives?
The X-Men need us here.
Our son will need us more. Just ever since I was in Gyrick's mind, I can't shake this feeling that something terrible is coming. Or do I sound like a fool?
No, Jean. You sound like a mother. Connection is a fragile treasure. One we sacrifice so much to maintain, only to then sometimes want it to break in a boom that changes your life forever. Jean?
I need the X-Men.
that was cool, the hint at the Phoenix saga there.
Little hidden clips.
Who she is or where she came from remains a mystery.
Well, this isn't going to get confusing or anything.
Crazy Eddie's was a story in the original run of the show.
Every moment is a new and shocking valuation of all we have ever been. My friends, words will fail to compare.
Yep, we're still watching episodes 1 to 5 of the series, the X-Men '97 series.
Gamma rays to isolate the hemoglobin properties of both genes' genetic markers, effectively carbon dating each woman on a cellular level.
English sugar?
Gene Doe is older, the proper age. Yours, while identical, is not. Ergo, our gene is a clone.
Impossible.
Gene, I assure you, the science is sound.
But I have memories. Her mind, it's just fragments.
Jean's making a bad decision because she's now making everybody question, is this the real Jane or not?
Exactly.
Though, for all we know, this could be like that weird plot where she is telling the truth.
It's easy to just look at this at face value and say it's, you know, clone versus imposter type of thing. But this is a scenario that might actually be come up in a real life situation had there be clones. So what's happening is that they're siding with the genetic variant versus the person with the memory. So the person who actually has that character that they actually know, they're like, no, you're not the person we know. Although that is the person they know, but they're going with the one who's genetically correct, which is a very interesting thing. Like, who is the real person? Is it your body or your character and memories? Another interesting prejudice that's never really come up in human society yet. Really ahead of the game.
Yeah.
It's like seeing your whatever it's called.
The doppelganger.
Yep, your doppelganger, basically. Except it's legitimately like your brother.
Yep.
And well, basically, we can put this in for an instance for Transformers because, well, we had Transformers have the same thing happen. And they were identical sets.
Hello? Who's there?
Frankenstein to the Sinister. I wish they would do more with him. We'll soon find out.
I love Mr. Sinister.
Must be ready soon. You just call it.
Once I resolve matters with our superfluous gene, I'll be skipping forward, headed into my stars and garters. Scott, you have to get Nathan. Hank.
Sinister, my goodness, he went dark.
Kidnapping us, running your science experiments just so you could use our
genes to create. You want our son, Nathan.
The original Gene never woke up, and so the other Gene took place without knowing.
Time to wake up, my queen. Struggle, of course, is quite useless. My influence over your mind is...
This is not good.
I love these transformations.
Jean is now evil, and now I question how the heck they're gonna turn her back.
The fact that she quickly changed into Phoenix, kind of shows that Phoenix always has been.
So we've now lost the original. We now lost one of the coolest, and we've lost now the smartest. This is the definition of Skybound at this point, killing off everybody.
Well, this is in the comics. There's this character who was actually a clone of Jean Grey. Her name was Madeline Pryor. It was actually Jean Grey died. A new character came in, Madeline Pryor, but retroactively, Madeline Pryor became Jean's clone, and she became a villain named the Goblin Queen. So, right, what just happened is like we fast-tracked through a whole bunch of comic continuities and got to the Goblin Queen version of Jean Grey's clone.
So now we've lost, well, the Jean Grey that we mostly knew, and now it's time to see what the new Jean brings through.
Mm-hmm.
This is just creepy.
That's awesome.
This is mortifying. Where is he with the real Wolverine at this point? Beast hit really the wrong floor.
Oh, and that was the shining elevator.
There's the real Wolverine. This is just gags. So, like, this is whatever she said, basically, this is like the real definition of like a weird horror movie.
Yeah, like they're really playing with everyone's minds.
Downstairs now.
Yeah, but kid never.
The question is, where is Rogue and Mr. Where is Magneto and Rogue?
Probably in the danger room.
While I share Sinister's apparent affection for Dante's Inferno, I must ask how he's exerting his most power over our perceptions of reality.
No, this is the clone.
How he threw Wolverine. This is too hilarious.
That's a special move called a fastball special.
Oh, right, I remember that.
Yeah.
I had like a DS game, and I remember one of those voice lines being that from him. He was one of the characters for the DS game.
Normally, it's Colossus who throws Hulk in a fastball special.
You had like it was like a weird DC game basically where you had to go up against whatever his name was. It's the Green Goblin, not the Green Goblin. It's the mutant that has all 4 of the Fantastic Four's powers, and that was like one of the main bosses. Basically, your final boss was Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
He played as every character.
I assume when you said DC, you meant Marvel, though.
Freaking saying, Ash, you think they'll keep adding to the 90s Spider-Man show too?
Hey, you had the Spider-Man figure for the show?
This is Marvel versus Capcom.
That was an awesome game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing that game.
Who doesn't? Me? Who am I? Say my name, Scott. No, allow me. I am.
I can see there's going to be some real problems.
Remy. I'm sorry, Remy. Should have been here.
You're okay, Shield. Gambit okay now. Cyclops, status report. Sinister created the clone. He made her so he could get his hands on our son. Mr. Sinister?
Sinister is the most evil man who ever existed.
So Cyclops has an interesting side about this whole Jean versus the clone thing. He couldn't call the original Jean his wife. He considers the clone Jean his wife. So that's who he's married to, and that's one who he has a kid with.
I think I've read that somewhere before.
And now he's turning their son into an impervious child. And with how the entire team is taking this so personal, and while Cyclops taking this even more personal, I can definitely tell this is going to lead to some real problems.
Or you don't even know. Oh.
Well, it's my first time kind of watching the show now. My dad's put it on at least 2 times in total. He watched through episode 4 and 1. A little bit of 1. He didn't get through it.
I knew you'd follow. It's all you do. I want you to fight for me.
This is not good. Morph is now infected. And now we're about to really see some real fighting. This is not going to end well, I can definitely tell.
Yeah, like I don't think there's really anyone that could stop Jean.
Maybe the entire X-Men if they were all existing. Cyclops possibly made a good choice, but not really.
Oh, actually, in that right there. So this happened in the comics where Cyclops blasted Jean and nearly killed her. And he didn't think he could hurt her like that, but actually Cyclops' blast can actually really hurt Jean. So it was just kind of a hint of that there. That's why she was bleeding a little bit there. Cyclops is really the only one that could hurt her.
Real G comes back. Queen Goblin did not want to live in the same world as well herself.
My husband, my family, and now my mind! Enough violation!
Nice. This is almost like the Shadow King fight from the original series.
Yo, the Shadow King, that was such a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely like the Shadow King.
Is that all?
All right, guys. Sadly, it is time for me to go to bed. I have school tomorrow, so I will not be able to be. This will be the last stream for a time. Maybe I'll do a stream later this week if I have the chance. If anything, it's going to be Wednesday or Tuesday because I have Thursday and Friday. I have to pack up and get ready.
Okay, cool. The thank you for coming through.
Yeah, thanks for joining us,
Sorry,
Natasha.
you may finish what you were saying, Spin.
Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
You were about to finish what you were saying, and I cut you off.
Oh no, I was saying thank you for coming through.
Well, you can count on me. Well, I will see you guys. Well, hopefully, if I do the stream or not, I have zero clue. But I hope to see you guys next week. Well, not next week. Well, Monday or Wednesday, or the week after.
Right on. Sounds good. Sounds good. Keep us posted on your adventures.
Alrighty, guys. It was great talking to you. I'm gonna finish this show because now you guys got me railed into it.
Cool.
Stop, man.
Alright. See you guys. You all have a great night's rest. I'm going to bed.
All
See you
right,
guys.
take care.
Bye.
Let's go save Nathan.
So that was cool. So the fake Jean had like a epiphany moment as she bonded with Jean there.
You stay away from us.
That was cool on how Sinister's body melted the same way that he did in the original show when Cyclops blasted him.
Yeah, that was cool. Like, it's really cool that they kept like all those little details from the original series.
Right? So much detail. In the original show, it was very difficult to draw Sinister, so they would just have him like either coming out of the shadows or going back into the shadows. He would never turn because like he had those peacock feather cape. That would be a nightmare to animate. So they just said, no, let's just have him fade in and out. So we didn't get much action. So yeah.
Detail. That's
yeah. You could see Cyclops is just steaming. He is so not having it.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be another way.
Cool. They were bringing in Forge.
I won't abandon my son.
We said we'd give him the best possible future.
So prompting for a Cyclops arc where he's growing as a person.
When you're lonely or scared, or you ask yourself why we did this.
That's an interesting shot there with them on either side of a broken bedroom.
Shame about the weather. No summer like a Texas summer, but I wouldn't give if someone could just make it rain.
Speak plainly. Who are you?
Name is Forge, Storm. An old friend of Charles Xavier. I'd like to help you get back what you've lost.
Nice.
Forge. I was wondering when they were going to bring in young Forge. Because we did see him in the original series, but he was in the future timeline. I think he did make a brief appearance when he was a young, like in the present timeline, but in the future, he was the one who was working with Wolverine and then send Bishop back to prevent that assassination or whatever there.
Well, it's interesting because in the original series, when they introduced Forge, Wolverine's skeleton was in like that glass chamber in the background.
Yeah. Right. Was that in the future or was that present Forge? I think that was the future Forge, and that was
future Forge. Because in that series, like they were showing Bishop and Shard in the future going back, because at the time Nimrod and one of the other characters was also time traveling.
Okay. Yeah, that episode I'm not as familiar with. I'm thinking about another episode. I think it's called One Man's Worth, where Bishop was working for the Sentinels, and then they're like, "Okay, your quota's up. We don't need you anymore." And then that's when he first goes back. Is that the same episode?
That might be the same episode, and it was essentially they were trying to kill Xavier when he was younger.
Right. No, that's a different set of episodes. That's Days of Future Past.
Because the One Man's Worth, that title does stand out. So I believe that's the one that had the young Xavier before, like in a sense he was still walking. So they wanted to kill him before he created the X-Men or knew of his powers.
Yeah, that's Days of Future Past.
Okay.
Yeah. One Man's Worth came before that.
Okay, cool. Let's get into episode 4.
Oh, another thing I want to mention is that Cyclops has such a hard time letting his son go because his father, Corsair, just took off on him as well. He didn't really have a father growing up. So yeah, he has that difficulty growing up without having a father as well.
You know, which which was the difference with the original series compared to the other one when they were kind of younger, where Scott knows his brother, what's his Havoc, whereas like the two of them know each other, but in the original series, even though Scott and Havoc run into each other, only Jean knows that they're brothers.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So
he basically has no family in this other than the X-Men.
Exactly. So I mean, I wonder if they'll bring back his dad in this series.
I hope so. Yeah. Space travelers. He has I'll mention this now. He has another brother who is actually off-world. Something to do about his mother getting taken captive by the Shi'ar or something like that, and he ends up being raised on one of these other world empires. And he actually may or may not make an appearance in the show.
Is this another brother in the comic book? Because the cartoon series never mentioned
that. Did the cartoon series? It's possible the cartoon series did cameo his other brother, but didn't mention it. But definitely, yeah, it was in the comics. Okay. He's like a long lost brother. I just don't think they have gotten to that part of the story yet. Is all.
Okay.
Please don't hurt me. I'm Roberto da Costa, heir
So this is another. I like this Roberto da Costa. At first, I wasn't really so sure about it, but Roberto da Costa, I really like this guy because he has these very wealthy parents. These parents are very popular. They're shareholders that have certain expectations, and he just kind of wants to do his own thing, but he isn't allowed to live how he wants.
Okay.
Because his parents have these expectations and requirements of him.
It's funny. I've actually known people like that where they choose to just live a regular life, the 9 to 5, and just to make just enough to survive. But they do have that fallback on their parents that basically, like, they're, in a sense, they're retired because they really don't have to worry about anything financial, but they choose not to be a part of that world.
Well, you know what? That's interesting. You say they don't have to worry about anything financial, but the problem is, like, they're imprisoned financially by their parents. Like, he's a shareholder. He's a.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of locked in there. And not to mention, he'll never be educated on how to handle his own finances. Of course, like, I'm sure he could pay someone to do that type of thing for him. But
right.
He has that part of growing up, part of learning how to do your own finances. He has that taken away from him, and as well, yeah, he's just got dividends. He doesn't really.
Got it.
Right. Yeah. That was a clip in the intro there from one episode where Xavier is trying to peek into the Hellfire's Club, and Emma Frost locks him out.
I remember that. Mr. Anti-Idiotic says, but Ellie Page is now Elliot Page.
Thanks, Rami. You're sweet.
But
our new boss beat you to the pot.
It's 3 sugars. I'll take a cappuccino.
Rogaine was like a back pain commercial in the 90s, if I remember right.
Yep, that is true.
That blasts fireworks and turns 18 today. In her clone, or Cyclops in his latest control issue, they aren't even. Surprise! I'm the birthday Big Mac.
You actually do play video games? This might be make or break.
The only people who hate video games are bad at video games.
I'm surprised she wanted to go back to arcade, considering I think that was like the first episode in the original series.
That's right. Yeah, when the Sentinel counter.
I'd rather be on my computer with you.
That's another stigma from back in the day, where like video games are for kids or losers or deadbeats or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, it's just like sit down and enjoy yourself and play some games.
That's it.
That cartridge cover on the system they had. I had that exact Genesis system and that X-Men game for Genesis. And
Where'd the mansion go?
I just have to say this episode is totally made for me because of that X-Men game that I had. Kind of goes through some other X-Men games, but
okay.
it kind of focuses more on the Genesis. Mojo. This I love this character. A little bit of a new voice actor, reminds me of the headmaster from the Transformers animated.
Okay. Yeah, the Mojo episode was nuts.
Loved it. Very interesting commentary on like how the networks work and ratings and like man, that was a lot of deep cuts, like deep cuts.
Down, down, and thirsty for the next big thing, dirty girl.
So at the time, it was Nintendo that was like the household name of gaming. I think there was a time where Nintendo had 90% of the video game market share. So
for sure.
Nintendo was just a household name.
Yeah.
Stinks.
There's some interesting show references that they threw there.
Yeah, totally, right? So this definitely looks like the arcade game where you're choosing your players in that either 4 or 6 player mega arcade game. Man, that was so much fun in the arcade.
Yep.
Totally.
Oh yeah, it was totally the graphics.
Yes. That Wanted poster in the back, that's from a X-Men comic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, reference there. After seeing that, I totally want Jubilee in that original game. But the original game was it came out, well, it didn't come out before the show, but the characters are based on the Pride of the X-Men characters.
Right.
So we had Storm's black costume and a couple of characters that didn't appear on the regular show. Reality smacked him in the face, or video game smacked him in the face.
Wow.
That sound effect, I'm pretty sure that sound effect was from the Genesis game.
Battle shenanigans. I just need to wait for it to cycle.
Well, even exactly how Magneto's fighting.
One more.
Yeah, that was definitely the Genesis soundtrack. This is also the final stage in the Genesis game where you're fighting Magneto on Asteroid N.
Yeah.
Dope. I think these two make a good couple.
Yeah, I think so too.
And that's also an interesting thing at the time, early 90s, it may, or mid 90s, it may still have been a weird thing for interracial couples to get together. So having seen this, even Jubilee's parents are one is Chinese, one's American.
Correct.
So yeah, that's very cool, and I guess a progressive thing at the time, relatively.
Which I would say they also push those boundaries.
Like I said,
That one episode of that alternate reality with Storm and Logan dating.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, that was very cool. Very cool to see those two as a couple.
Pause here for a second. I got a few questions. Explain everything.
This is the original Jubilee voice actor with the new Jubilee voice actor passing the torch, in essence.
Oh, that's very cool.
Very neat. Jubilee, I know a part of you wants to hang here. It's nice knowing how every stage ends. No surprises, no twists. It always stays the same. But that's not living. Living doesn't get cheat codes or extra lives, but it has friends and family, love, loss, and heapings of hope. Life's a total risk, and it's on you. Take it.
So Magneto was right.
A bit, but he's
That's
totally wrong about one thing. Video games rule.
Yeah, I
That
can
was
hear
a-
your voice.
What do you say we destroy
Right?
two lovebirds out of here?
That was so deep, like what she's saying, and especially it coming from the original Jubilee's voice actor to say, like, don't hold on to things, like try new things, do things, get out of your element, type of thing. Don't stay in a bubble because you're letting life just go by, type of thing. Yeah, that's a very cool. This show is totally full of all these great ideas and great thoughts.
I can really see why everyone really loved this series.
Mm-hmm. in the Genesis video game, it was a really strange way. You had to get to Mojo. In order to get to Mojo, you had to actually press reset on your console. It was a very fourth wall breaking thing. And yeah, he was a big boss, just like it was there. So I thought that was also maybe a reference to the Genesis video game.
I wonder how they pulled that off, though. That you have to hit reset in order to get to a whole different part of the game.
Yeah, so the way it worked is when you finished a certain level, like all the levels, you get to the levels from the danger room. So you finish the level, you go back to the danger room, you do whatever, you change your character, and then you go back to the level. But what's happening is the danger room is malfunctioning, and these things are becoming real. And then, yeah, the danger room malfunctions so much. I forget if there is even a hint. I think you just have to like know someone who knows someone to know that you have to press reset at this point, and then you can actually access the following levels. Yeah, it's crazy.
Draw unique connections. See how bits fit, like a Rubik's cube on constant autopilot.
Or simply a genius.
Well, life and love.
Mr. Anti-Idiotic says Chloe Grace Mortez or Rowan Blanchard, or one of the girls from Booksmart, can play Kitty Pryde.
Rowan Blanchard. Is that the girl from Harry Potter?
There was more.
If I
I'm soaring. The wind in my hair, so powerful it's hard to breathe. But
yeah, for sure. Yeah, she could play Kitty Pryde.
your mutant gifts have allowed you to fix yourself. What a blessing.
Wasn't anything to fix. Just adapted and got a little creative.
Okay, cool, RJ.
Let's go for a ride.
Well, I'll let you know once we start. And she will Kobe, I'm here stupid late for my Costco run, but better late than never, eh?
Yay, Costco runs for the win.
Looks like you got creative. Keep up.
I really like this. So this is the kind of a two-part episode. I really like how they take the time to spend with just Storm and Forage.
Oh, okay.
The goddess lives. Beautiful, isn't it?
12 vintage review says I completely zonked out for a couple of hours. There's no reason. I know you're
always, dude. Yeah. It's rest up, dude.
Rest up. Get better.
Temperatures guiding the wind across our planet's surface. The winds here never.
Look at that guy. Oh, that guy with his arm around Forge's shoulder is a significant character coming up.
Outside.
We can back it up.
Ready?
Okay, yeah. Okay, we can back it up there. So there's the photo in the bottom right.
The real
okay, it's going to come back again.
Wasn't making a dirty version of its radiation.
It was creating a machine.
X-Force.
Yep, there was the X-Force.
Handsome looking Forge. Just right there in the bottom right. He's cut off by that other image there with his arm around Forge. And the guy next to him is Dr. Adler, who was the one in the first run where he was like curing mutants, but it turned out to be Mystique. She had already killed Dr. Adler.
Yes.
Yeah, so Forge actually worked with the actual Dr. Adler.
It was creating a machine that could safely channel such power.
Okay, yeah, you barely see him.
Yeah.
You've been listening. That power differential clicked in my head when we were out riding. Like I said,
Wow.
Please, winds, hear me.
Scientist in Scotland being Dr. Adler.
You
Oh,
of
okay.
all people should know the perils of trusting those in Washington.
That's not fair. I was hurting, lost.
To make him a goddess.
I love this show. This is so good. It's written so well.
Okay.
That's cool. So the adversary makes an appearance. This is a character also from the comics that didn't really make the show, but that definitely gives the Shadow King vibes there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
Yeah, well, we're going to jump to episode 5, the last episode we're going to view for this evening.
Are we already on episode 5? Man, that flew by. Wow.
No.
This is so much fun. Okay, great. Episode 5. This is the episode to end it on tonight.
All right, episode 5, and it begins now.
Techno-organic virus.
Steven Box mentions, FYI, next episode 5 is intense AF, and Jean Grey goes by Marvel Girl or Phoenix. That is correct.
It's like a utopia. I think that was the love triangle reference there.
Receive an invite.
Sorry?
Yeah, I hear it's called the future. Magneto, the interim council would love a word with you before tonight's gala.
privately if possible. So where the heck does that leave us? Dang, I'll be a wet bird on a live wire. Kurt Wagner, how the heck are you, furball?
Meine Freunde! Ich
$10 per apple is pretty steep.
And for him,
Makes you think that it's really expensive.
ruin honey.
And some metro prices. I think currently they're charging $10 for watermelon.
Why is Magneto something mutant MVP?
Kyle Logan's really got some wisdom there.
And that's Cyclops.
Yeah, he's got some problems he's got to deal with there.
Finally getting a voice. We need to.
Yeah, this show's definitely not holding back. Eh?
No, that's I mean, it's showing Cyclops for who he actually is.
We need a hand.
And I love this shot alone. Like everything is very cinematic and very well thought out. Like you're seeing the ice in the glass, and then in another shot you'll see the ice crack as if things are falling apart. Like there's a lot of film, what do you call it, like devices they use in this show very cleverly.
Wish for me.
I agree.
Hilarious. One could
Was Emma Frost watching that the whole time?
How
Yeah,
long
she
has it
probably
been?
was.
A month, maybe. I was checking in after she moved overseas.
Beast is so great with his line.
Oh, yeah, I've always loved the Beast character.
Do you love her? Do you love her?
That was crazy how they addressed that relationship there with them.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
There are a ton of cameos in this.
Yeah, these days, there's just like a handful of characters.
So many.
Yes, this is Ace of Base, if you were wondering.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Ace of Base.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. No, I was wondering the first time I heard this, I'm like, is it? And yeah, it is.
wow.
I thought it was so awesome. They have an awesome soundtrack for this.
Episodes.
I'm kinda
Hello?
Hi, BananaCon.
Hello?
That's BananaCon.
Good, Daddy Hope?
Oh, we can. What are you saying, Mr. BananaCon?
It was very eerily quiet.
Yeah, okay. Maybe give us like 60 seconds here.
The cards always be in my favor.
Is Wolverine fighting Magneto?
Gambit fighting a Sentinel.
Oh, okay, I won't say anything.
Name's Gambit.
Because I've seen all the episodes. Yo. Gambit dies, just to let you know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, am I on?
Sorry?
Did I spoil it?
No, it just happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he dies.
Yo, I bet you weren't prepared for that.
Nope.
Would not prepare for that.
I mean, I was trying to avoid all spoilers and, just any comments people were making about the series. And we're still only on episode 5, so we still have 5 more episodes to go, which we'll probably may do next week.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, they really got it going in the first 5 episodes. So there was a lot of really extended story arcs that they did really, really quickly. Like there was the Inferno story arc with the Madeline Pryor and the Goblin Queen thing. There was the Storm losing and regaining her. Well, she didn't regain her powers yet, but like that was a whole story arc in itself. Yeah. Things were moving really quickly for the show, and I think they did a really good job keeping that same feel from the original one. BananaCon, have you not been watching the X-Men '97 show?
Oh, I saw the whole thing. That's why I don't want to say anything, because if I do, I might spoil it. Because I kind of did already when I got on. I said, did Wolverine fighting Magneto, and I go, oh, wait a minute, that's not the episode yet, right? So
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta
the
be
final
careful.
3 episodes you're thinking of.
Yeah, I gotta be careful, right? So I don't want to say anything. But you know what? When I first started to watch it, I thought the first couple of episodes were a little slow. But it did pick up with the whole Sentinels invading the Genosha Island there, and all that craziness happening. That's when things really start picking up.
Yeah.
And even with the story arc and so forth, things start to really pick up in the last 5 episodes, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So I'm really happy we got up to this episode. The thing about the 90s is that this is like pre 9/11, and it was a different world we lived in post 9/11. And this event at Genosha is kind of like establishing that change. How like, okay, the world is really shit now. Like at Genosha was like a real paradise at first, and then you know,
Yeah,
going
the
forward.
showrunner slash writer, DeMeo, he's on record for saying that he was thinking of like 9/11, that that gay club that got the shooting in Florida, you know, the similar type events with the what happens with Genosha, which is like it's a reference to I'm not sure if it was quite not cool. It might have been a little bit before 9/11, but a storyline, the start of the Grant Morrison run on X-Men E for Extinction.
Right.
Well, the thing that okay, well, since this is a Transformer you know, channel, there is a relationship here, right? And if you look at Transformer the movie, you know, when you saw that battle between, you know, the Autobots and Decepticons there on Earth, we saw a lot of famous characters that we grew up with get eliminated or they got killed off. So when this whole battle that was happening in Genosha there, you know, there was a lot of you know, characters were like, holy crow, they killed this person off, they killed that person off, and they, you know, they got rid of Gamut, right? And so there's that similar parallel what's called
prejudice.
No. I'm just saying that there's that parallel or comparison between, you know, watching Transformer the movie and then watching X-Men 97, how they just killed off a lot of main characters, right?
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with like the prejudice. The easiest one to pick out is Magneto and his experience with the Holocaust there, the prejudice against Jews, right? And that whole whipping the monster sentinel, kaiju sentinel with the train was supposed to be like alluding to him and his family getting whipped at the concentration camps. So in Transformers as well, like even in the new Skybound comics, like you could see how the Decepticons are very prejudiced towards the Autobots, and they're trying to kill them seemingly just because they feel like they're lesser beings. And yeah, definitely there is that connection there. In Transformers, that's always been there, but it wasn't really showcased until the movie where they're actually like, you know, seriously killing them, and like in the Skybound comics, it's more upfront.
Well, it became a little bit more adult orientated in that aspect, right? Even with this whole cartoon, like, you know, if I was a kid back in the days watching this, this would be a little extreme. So the good thing is that they kind of cater this a little bit more towards the adults versus kids. So, you know,
Michael, a bit quiet.
Sorry?
Oh, your volume's really low.
My volume?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember if they had this in the cartoon adaptation of it, but with the Phoenix, at least in the comics, they show her destroying like whole worlds, and that's why the Shi'ar Empire wants to put her on trial and do the battle on the moon that they talk about, they allude to, and either her or Madeline refer to. So, but I can't remember if they were as explicit as the comics were when they adapted that storyline in the 90s or not. And I know she in the comics, she Mastermind, who was one of the people. He wasn't in this episode, but that Sebastian Shaw and White Queen, he was in that group, the Hellfire Club group. And then the end of in the comics, at least, she like, when she realizes that he's been playing her like a fiddle pretty much with his powers. I mean, she believes him like a drooling husk of a man pretty much. And it's just because she's just that enraged. So there's some darker, some dark storylines adapted in the 90s show. And then Bishop and the kind of reference Days of Future Past, and him almost being kind of a Uncle Tom of sorts, but combined with a police officer, these kind of hunting down mutants, because he hunts down like Wolverine. You see him hunting down Wolverine in the original cartoon series, and then finally they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you met your quota, now we're gonna kill you. The Sentinels in the 90s. I mean, there's some. I mean, the original series went into some dark places too, but obviously they couldn't explicitly show death, because I mean, you just kind of see like the screen go to, like in the Night of the Sentinels 2 Parker from the start of the original series. I mean, you just get the implication of it, of Morph being supposedly killed by the Sentinels, because the screen just goes to all whatever their Sentinels eye blasts were color.
Yeah. You couldn't do some things back then that you can get away with now.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a precedent for it, at least like somewhere along the line since then.
Can you guys hear me now? Does it sound better?
Yeah, you're better. Well, not aesthetic, but you're better.
Yeah. Peanut butter jelly time, okay?
So how was the banana convention?
Convention.
I don't know. Everybody split.
Wow.
Boom. All right. So where you guys? I left to go grab another headphone. So where you guys at?
We're just giving our rundown of the first 5 episodes of X97. Obviously, before we wrap up for the evening, we do need to mention everything that we have coming up in the next couple weeks and in the next month, in a sense.
That is true.
So one of the things, which is actually, let's see if I can pull it up here, is Mr. Magnus is going to be in Kentucky doing a convention, and his day is Sunday, and he's on 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And let me just get the date of that. So I believe that would be the 16th of June. And he is in the OMG Con that's in Kentucky, and he is going to be doing a panel on extreme collecting.
You think?
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, Mr. Tree of the same, or like what, 3 or 4 of the same figure sometime.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean the coincidence of that is him being a member of the live stream where someone had introduced themselves to him, and seeing his collection and asking him to be one of the panelists at the convention because of his collection.
It finally paid off.
And then in July, I believe the weekend of the 4th, the 16th, TFCon Toronto, where we will be there for the 3 days. And we will also have exclusive figures, but we will be doing a live stream the Saturday and the Sunday, but we will also have a panel that will be happening on the Sunday as well, which is connected to Deceptikitty. Why you mention it?
Yeah, we're doing a panel on Mystery of Convoy, the mystery of Convoy. So we're just going to be talking about some fun things that have been a little bit elusive in Transformers knowledge base about this video game, and yeah, it's just going to be a fun panel, and yeah, totally excited about it.
Seems like a mystery.
And a split, get it?
It is a mystery of the mystery of Convoy. So there's a lot to talk about it, but yeah. We'll save it for another stream.
Yep. So I mean, we may either do the other 5 episodes next week, or we'll start getting into all the details about all the upcoming inventions that Mr. Magnus will be doing in the U.S. side, and that we'll be doing on the Canadian side, and all the upcoming TF news that that we've kind of overlooked for the last week or two. Because there's always news coming out within the Transformers community.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been messing with my Magmatrons, my original one and the Legacy one, the on and off the before and during the whole stream or watch party, I should say. Legacy's actually much bigger, which is rare. Normally, it's the other way around.
Yeah, those little Beast Wars figures are pretty big.
Mm.
But this was specifically Japanese ones. Yeah, I remember.
No, I'm saying like the new Legacy one is actually bigger than the original. Is what I was saying.
Yeah, that's definitely a change.
What I
Because I was so surprised when I got my Optimus Primal for the first time. That figure was huge.
Oh yeah, that original one, that Alter Class or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's see. We'll wrap up for the evening. And I want to thank everyone who came out to watch X-Men 97 with us. For myself, it's actually the first time getting a chance to watch the episodes. Kind of like everyone's had good words about it. I'm gonna avoid the spoilers and everyone's comments and conversations until I get a chance to watch it. So I'm also impressed with the series, the 5 episodes so far, and we'll get to the other 5 sometime soon. I want to thank everyone in the comments. Thank you for everyone that joined us on the Discord, which is discord.childrenofprimus.com. Support us through our Patreon. Check us out on our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, and subscribe and like our channel as usual. And again, thank you to everyone. And as we usually say at the end of every stream, to all are one.
Till all are one.
Adios.